Hello, West Virginia.
I am Ben Valleau.
And I'm Ameera Mustafa.
And as we move into the fourth week of the legislative session, we wanted to discuss bills that are currently being debated that affect students.
As these bills pass through the legislature, we thought we would highlight how they impact our day-to-day lives.
To kick things off, we will look at Senate Bill 243.
This was introduced by Senator Patricia Rucker, a Republican who represents Jefferson County.
After the bill's introduction, it was referred to the Committee on Education and then to the Judiciary Committee.
The purpose of this bill is to provide for a 1-minute moment of silence at the beginning of each school day, where students are free to meditate, pray, or do any other silent activity.
This bill prevents teachers from being able to discuss what students engage in during the moment of silence.
The vagueness of what students can do in the 1-minute moment of silence is purposeful, mostly due to the idea of separation of church and state.
Supreme Court case Engel v. Vitale established that, quote, the state cannot hold prayers in public schools, even if the participation is not required and the prayer is not tied to a particular religion.
Moving on to Senate Bill 404, which was introduced by Senator Laura Chapman, a Republican from Ohio County, and sponsored by Senators Deeds, Carnes, and Woodrum.
The purpose of this bill is to direct the State Board of Education to create a social media safety curriculum for students in grades 6 through 12. This would address issues like mental health impacts, misinformation, and cyberbullying.
This bill would also implement an internet safety policy limiting students' access to social media through school networks, with an emphasis on secure and positive usage.
Finally, House Bill 4186.
Introduced by Delegate Jonathan Pinson, a Republican from Mason County, this bill proposes a new state test.
The purpose of this bill is to require each high school student to get at least an 85% on a test on the United States Constitution as a requirement to graduate from high school.
What's important to note here is that there is no mention of improving our civics education system or providing professional learning opportunities for civics teachers who are responsible for engaging students with this content.
This means that elected officials are relying on classes already available to students to help them pass the exam.
All of these bills affect students, yet there are no students in the state legislature.
Because of this, we decided to put high schoolers in the position of one of these elected officials to let them vote.
Here are the results of the informal survey we created and distributed to teachers across the state. All responses are anonymous. This is not scientific, but it gives us an idea about where students stand on these three bills.
77% of students voted for the 1-minute moment of silence in schools, leaving 23% against Bill 243.
A majority of students also felt that the social media safety curriculum would improve the schools, with a 60% voting for Senate Bill 404.
In contrast, students were quick to vote against the Constitution test. A whopping 85% of students decided to vote against House Bill 4186.
If your school would like to be part of this survey, your principal can contact education@wvpublic.org to request the link. We will update the voting as more responses are received.
So join us next week when we'll be focusing more on bills regarding the education system as a whole.
As always, I'm Ameera Mustafa.
And I'm Ben Valleau.
For the Legislature Today.